So your Amazon ACOS is through the roof, but where do you even start to decrease it? In this video, I will give you 6 proven strategies that I use to decrease my ACOS. Why is our ACOS high? If we do not know why it's high, then we don't know what to target to decrease it. There are many different factors here that could cause your ACOS to be high, but a few of the main ones include that our bids are incorrect, that we're targeting the wrong phrases, the wrong ASINs. It could even be down to our listing not being properly optimized, or our price is too high, so people don't actually want to buy our product compared to a competitor's. Once we figure out what the problem is with our campaigns and why our ACOS is high, then we will know exactly what to target to bring it down. So let's dive into some of those strategies. So the first strategy is related to targeting. Are you targeting the correct phrases and ASINs? If not, then they could be getting a lot of clicks but not making any sales. What I like to do here is if a phrase or an ASIN has had over 20 clicks but has not made a single sale, then we must negate that phrase or ASIN. What negation does is it stops Amazon from ever bidding on that phrase or ASIN in that specific campaign ever again. Negations are very important for auto campaigns, but they can be used with both auto campaigns and your manual campaigns. Maybe a wrong keyword phrase slipped through from your harvesting or your keyword research and got into a manual campaign. Maybe it's driving a lot of clicks, but people are not actually looking for your product when they search that. They're looking for something different, but your product is interesting, so they click on it, but then they don't buy it. They click off, they go buy a competitor's product. You therefore need to make sure that all of your phrases are very relevant and that they are actually generating sales from those clicks. The only time you wouldn't negate a phrase is when it is super relevant to your product. If it perfectly describes your product, then maybe it's more an issue of your conversion rates. Maybe your listing is not actually good enough to convert that traffic into customers. The second strategy is in relation to your bids. You want to conduct a full audit of all of your PPC campaigns that have a high ACOS and check what the bid is set to. What are they in relation to Amazon's suggested bid prices? Do you have search modifiers that are not converting but they're just spending even more? If your bids are much higher than Amazon's suggested bid prices, then you should lower them down to be within that range. If you have modifiers that are not performing well, identify which placements are performing well and then push the extra spend to those. The third strategy is related to your bidding strategy. A lot of the time, sellers will set up their campaigns using a dynamic up and down bidding strategy. This is where Amazon can adjust your bids up or down depending on the likelihood that you make a sale on that search. If Amazon thinks that you're very likely to make a sale, they can increase your bid by up to 100% what the set price is. If they think that you're not likely to make a sale, then they can decrease that down. Now, this may seem like a good strategy because you're getting the best of both worlds, but oftentimes you just end up bidding way more than you actually need to in order to get that sale. This is why I recommend most campaigns running on a down-only bidding strategy. Amazon still optimizes your bids, but they can only bid down lower than what your set bid is. They can never bid above it. If they think that you're likely to get a sale, then you're probably going to play close to what your set bid is. But if Amazon thinks that you're not likely to make a sale, then it drops that bid price further down. This is great because then you're only bidding more on searches that are very likely to end in a sale for you. But if it's not going to end in a sale, then you're not bidding as much. The fourth strategy to look at is day parting. Now, day parting is where you push more spend or you increase your bids at certain days of the week or even at certain hours each day. You want to look and see what day of the week are you performing well, what hour of the day are you performing well, and then increase your bids and increase your spend at those times. You can't do this blindly. You have to make sure that you check all of the data ahead of time because you could end up decreasing your bids and your spend when you should actually be increasing it. If you find that you make the most sales at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, then you should drastically increase your bids at that time. This will make sure that you are at the top of the search versus Tuesday evening where you are converting 50% less than in the morning. Then you want to drop your bids down because otherwise you're just spending a lot more money but you're not making as many sales. Your money is far better spent when you are prioritizing those times of day and those days of the week where you are most likely to get those conversions and make those sales. The fifth strategy is to optimize your main images for click-through rate. Now, a lot of people will say that main image optimization does not directly affect your ACOS, and they are right there. It doesn't directly affect it. However, think about this. You are selling a temperature sensor for an oven. Someone comes along and they search for a temperature sensor for a HVAC unit. What they don't know is that your oven temperature sensor has shown up as well, but both of the products look exactly the same. So they click on your sponsored ad for your oven sensor, but then as soon as they read the copy, they see the rest of your images, they realize that this is not actually the product they're looking for. So they click off of it and they move on to the next one. But now, if you had optimized your main image so that that person knew before even clicking on it exactly what it was, that it was a temperature sensor for ovens, not a temperature sensor for HVAC units, then they would never have clicked on your listing to begin with, and you never would have been charged for that click. It happens so many times that customers click on a listing simply because they're curious about it, or they don't actually know what it is, only to find out once they're on the listing that it's not at all what they are looking for, so they move off and go elsewhere. This just drives your ACOS through the roof because it is such a waste of all of that spend that could be used to generate more sales if the person just knew exactly what the product was that they were clicking on. The sixth and final strategy is to optimize your listing images and your A+ content. By doing this, you can increase your conversion rate. You may still be getting the same amount of traffic, same amount of clicks on your campaigns, same people looking at your listing, but if your conversion rate is higher, it means that you're ultimately making more sales for the same amount of PPC spend. Imagine that you have 100 people clicking on your listing, but only 5 make a purchase. Now, after optimizing your listing images and A+ content, you're still getting 100 people visiting your listing, but your conversion rate has doubled. It's gone up to 10 now. So 10 out of every 100 people are purchasing your product. You're still paying the same amount on ads to get that traffic, but you're making double the sales because your conversion rate has increased. These are the real strategies that my team and I use every day to optimize our clients' PPC accounts. We bring down the ACOS and increase the overall efficiency and the amount of sales that their PPC campaigns bring in. If you want to see how we can help you decrease your ACOS and increase your PPC sales, go to the link in the description down below to schedule a free consultation call with one of our Amazon experts today. If you got value out of this video, check out one of our others on how you can decrease your TACOS by making your PPC and your SEO work together to make your overall business more profitable.